Hi, I'm News 12 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Coskren, also known as Aaron's uncle, and I work at the TV station here in Augusta, Georgia, not too far from Atlanta, and we're going to be talking about weather instruments today. But first, I want to give you a safety tip. When you are surfing, be careful of sharks. Now, this is a serious situation because your classmate Aaron, you know he has that knee that got kind of messed up over spring break. This was a picture that someone took of him while he was surfing, and this shark came after him and took a bite out of his leg. So we're talking about it, you know, Aaron, he's a tough cookie. And I know he probably, he had a tough time with that shark, but hey, he fought the shark and he won. So congratulations, Aaron. I know your spring break was a little bit messed up by your injury, but hey, this is a photo that you will never forget, and neither will I. Let's talk about some weather instruments. You guys are learning about the weather, and a great way to start is to learn about the instrumentation that we use to measure certain conditions in our weather. And one of them is temperature. Thermometer is what we use to measure that. That's going to measure the air temperature. That's pretty basic. Many of you might have a thermometer on your porch outside your door at home. One thing to keep in mind, if you are measuring the air temperature outside, you have to be in a shady spot. You can't have the thermometer in the sun or it will give you a faulty reading. So make sure it's in the shade, then you'll get a good number. Otherwise, a common type of thermometer is called the mercury in glass thermometer. You've probably seen these thermometers where the red line rises up. What happens is mercury is a metal that expands when it gets warm. So you put they put the mercury in this little glass tube, and as it warms up, it rises up. So then you see what the temperature is. So it's kind of cool. There's different scales you can measure temperature. We use Fahrenheit here in the United States. In Europe, they use Celsius. So there's different scales to measure temperature. But for us, it's Fahrenheit. And yeah, temperatures in the 80s, that's pretty typical this time of year, right? Let's talk about barometer. This is a device we use to measure atmospheric pressure. All atmospheric pressure is how much the weight of the air is pressing down on you. If that is low, if the atmospheric pressure is low, then the device will show you that it's on the low end over here of this barometer. Notice how that means rain. Why does low pressure mean rain? Because if the pressure of the air is not that high, if it's pretty low pressing down on you, that means air will readily rise, form clouds, rain, storms, snow. So yeah, that's why. If you have low pressure, you're more readily going to get clouds and rain, and that's what this little icon here tells you too. Conversely, if you have high pressure, that means the pressure of the weight of the air is really heavy pressing down on you. Generally, you'll have sunny skies and a nice day, and you see it right here. You see that little sun icon? If this device was measuring a high pressure over here, it would most likely be a sunny day. And one thing to keep in mind also is that when the pressure changes rapidly, it usually means the weather is changing rapidly too. Sometimes you can actually, animals and elderly people can actually feel a storm coming. If a thunderstorm is approaching, the pressure is changing rapidly, you can actually feel it in your knees. Especially once you get older, you're more sensitive to this. And also animals, if your dog kind of goes nuts when a storm is coming, he knows it before you do. So it's kind of cool. And it's all because of the changes in the pressure that happen when the weather is changing. Another device that's really important is the anemometer. It's hard to say, actually. It measures the wind speed of the wind. So a fast wind for around here would be about 20 or 30 miles an hour, but those winds can be as much as 300 miles an hour in a tornado. Something to keep in mind. The rotational speed of these cups that spin around in an anemometer is directly proportional to the actual speed of the wind, and a mathematical equation is used to determine the wind speed given the rotational speed of that little anemometer that spins around. So that's kind of cool too. Hey, what else is cool is Mrs. Z is getting married on Saturday. The weather, well, it could be better, to tell you the truth, Mrs. Z. I hate to say this, but there is a chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. I believe your wedding is set for 2 p.m. in Johns Creek, Georgia, not too far from Atlanta. It won't be hot, but it will be humid, so maybe a frizzy hair day for you and the bridesmaids. That's kind of a tough one. That happened to me on my wedding, too. It was very humid when I got married, but yeah, so it's going to be a little bit sticky. Not too hot, though. Temps will be in the 70s in the afternoon. There'll be a chance for a shower or storm in the afternoon, but a better chance later in the day. If you're going to get those wedding pictures taken, probably want to do it in the morning because the weather is looking a lot better there than it will be in the afternoon. So God bless the happy couple. I hope you have a wonderful life together. And Mrs. Z's name might be changing soon, kids. And one more thing. don't do what Aaron did. Aaron, he's a daredevil. I mean, he's gonna take chances, and he ended up getting a bloody knee. But it could have been worse. I mean, this great white meant business. And Aaron, we are so glad you made it out of there unscathed. Congratulations on another exciting spring break trip for you. Hey, that's going to do it for me, guys. Thanks for letting me come into your classroom and talk a little bit about the weather. It's what I do for a living anyway, so it's been fun for me. And Aaron, stay cool, buddy. Hope you get well soon, and I hope to see you soon. Augusta's not too far away. I can take a drive out to Atlanta sometime. And Mrs. Z, have a great wedding this Saturday. We'll see you guys next time.